Hello there, Cancer. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast for the week of September 21st through the 27th. On Monday, what you have coming up is you have the Ace of Cups in reverse. What I'm feeling like for you, Cancers, is that this is talking about a situation where somebody shows you their true colors on Monday. And quite frankly, I feel like you're going to be shocked and surprised whenever you see these true colors. And it's also going to be a situation where your opinion of this person just kind of drops by like 3 notches whenever you see this actually happening. And it's something that, interestingly enough, I feel like for you Cancers, many of you have already heard about this side of that person, but you haven't believed what you've heard. You actually really suspected the person that was telling you this of making up stories. And so when this happens in front of you, not only does your opinion of this person go down a few notches, but also now you realize that what you were thinking about this other person, thinking that they were making up stories, was wrong, and that they actually were the person that had the integrity in this situation. And I feel like you are going to be going back to them and telling them basically, whether you say these particular words or not, but basically that you're sorry that you thought that that was what was going on whenever they tried to give you a heads up about this other person. All right, so, and kind of I'm feeling like more of a renewing of that friendship or of that partnership with that person, like that there's a renewal of the relationship with that person that did try to give you the heads up that you didn't believe. Okay, so on Tuesday, Cancer, let's move forward. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. It's interesting card to have 2 Cups cards right in a row. Three of Cups in reverse is talking to me about a situation with friends or co-workers. I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be co-workers, and that normally doesn't come up for me on this card. But for some of you, it's going to be friends. But I feel like for most of you, this is going to be a situation with co-workers where you guys are together trying to coordinate something or plan something. And yeah, some of the others are just going to be getting on your nerves. Usually when this comes up, this is about friends and it's about one friend. This is talking about coworkers and it's talking about multiple coworkers just kind of getting on your nerves. Like their perspective is not your perspective, and the way that they're handling this whole situation and the way that they expect everybody else to handle it doesn't go along with how you feel about the situation and how you want to handle it. And so it's a situation that is a frustrating situation for you with them. That's what I feel coming in on Tuesday. Let's see here. Any advice? Any advice? Any advice? Follow your intuition on this. If your intuition is saying go with the flow and just let them, carry the project or the idea through and just kind of go with the flow without making any noise. If your intuition is saying that, go ahead by all means and do that. If your intuition is saying, man, there's just no way, I have to take a stand for myself here, then that's the thing to do too. I don't feel like the answer for this situation is going to be the same for each of you. Not the best answer. So the best answer is going to be different in each situation, and so I can't really give you any solid advice here on this video. So the only solid advice I can give you really is follow your intuition in this situation. What is your gut telling you? What is your gut telling you should do? What is your gut saying you should do to handle this? So let's move on to Wednesday, Cancer. Wednesday we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Just feeling around here, seeing what this is actually saying. Feels to me like on Wednesday there's something that you have been working on and been making good progress with, but on Wednesday it feels like there's some kind of setback that sort of comes into the picture. I do feel like whatever this is just a temporary setback. It's only, for some of you, it's only a couple of hours. I feel like the longest the setback would be a couple of days, but it's going to depend. Each of you, it's going to be different because each of you, obviously, it's a different thing that we're talking about too, that you've been working on. So just feel like Wednesday there's some kind of setback coming in that sort of makes you stop and rethink and kind of come at this with a little bit of a different approach to be able to accomplish this goal that you've been working on, or this project that you've been working on. Now, Thursday, what we have coming up, Cancer, is we have the Seven of Clubs, and the Seven of Clubs is telling me that on Thursday, you're going to find yourself making a stand for yourself or taking a stand for yourself. So this may be a situation where people are just expecting too much from you and you just don't have that much energy or that many resources, and you have to say, you know what, I didn't mind doing this or this or this, totally happy to do this, this, and that, but here is where I have to stop. This is oh, I can't do this. This is just going to have to stop. And so that's the type of thing that I see coming up. You're taking a stand for yourself. And it could be also that people are thinking about you in one way when the reality of who you are is another way. And you have to kind of set them straight and say, you know what, you're expecting that I'm this way, and that's just not the way it is. When you're dealing with me, this is what you're going to get, da 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 da. But there's some way, some reason that you're having to take a stand for yourself on Thursday. And I'm hearing for some of you, this actually has to do with doctors. So this may be a situation where you're telling a doctor, you know what, I don't want the candy coating, thank you very much. Tell me what the real deal is. You know, this could also be a situation where I've seen situations where spouses have talked to doctors and said, you know what, you dare tell my spouse that he's dying. Don't you dare. So this could be that type of situation too when it comes to doctors. And this could also be, I'm feeling like the most predominant situation though with doctors, and it's not going to be all of you talking to doctors. I want you to understand that, but this is just something more specific that I'm picking up for some of you. But the most predominant feeling about the ones of you who are making this stand for yourself with doctors is that I feel like you feel that they have been choosing for you what is your best option and moving forward, make it under their choice for what your best option is without giving you all the options and giving you the opportunity to decide what is best for you and what your goals are for your life and for yourself. And I feel like you're telling your doctor now, you know what, just because you think that something is best doesn't mean that that's what's going to work best for my life. And I need you to start giving me all the options so that I can figure out what's best for my life. And if I have questions about this stuff, I expect you to be able to answer them. You're the expert. That's why I'm paying you. You work for me. I don't get bossed around by you. That's kind of the energy that's coming in for those of you who are dealing with doctors. I feel like that's the gist of what's going to be said for most of you when it does come to doctors. Okay, so moving on to Friday. Okay, so Cancers, judgment coming up on Friday. This just means that you're going to be using some good common sense on Friday. Something's going to come up that's going to have to be decided, and it's going to be something that affects not only you, but also other people as well. I feel like you're going to be looking at the situation from every angle, trying to see how it would affect, everyone involved, and just using good common sense about what is the best thing for the most people involved here, and just moving forward. And also if there's somebody that this situation, the decision actually hurts them, but it's still the best for the most, I feel like you are accountable enough and mature enough to go to that other person and say, I feel bad because I know this decision is going to affect you in this way, but I felt like I had to make this decision because for the majority of the people involved, it's a move forward or it's progress or whatever it is. But I feel like Cancers, like you're being very responsible and accountable and very mature in basically helping the other person understand why this happened so that they don't take it as just a personal blow, but that, you know, it's not personal. It's just about what is for the greatest good. Okay, so that's what I see coming in for you Cancers on Friday. On Saturday, we've got the Four of Swords coming up. Now, the Four of Swords tells me that you're going to be having a forced downtime on Saturday. Forced downtime is, it's when you're not able to do everything that you would normally do. So this is not like, oh, I'm going to take a vacation day and have downtime like that. This is something that happens that's out of your control that causes you to not be able to do everything you would normally do. So this could be, I've had this actually come up for me whenever somebody had a broken arm and that caused them some forced downtime because they couldn't do everything that they were normally do because they're dealing with this big old cast, you know. So it doesn't have to be an actual personal injury, but there's something going on Saturday that keeps you from doing everything you would normally do. And what happens when we come into that situation, when this card shows up, is that because we're not spending as much time as we normally would on what we do, now we have time to think about things that we normally wouldn't consider. And so our perspectives on certain things in our lives start to change. And as those perspectives change, how we interact with those things in the world changes. It's like if you can picture for yourself a caterpillar. And a caterpillar, when he's walking around on the ground, not maybe the most beautiful thing that you've ever seen, and has basically one perspective. He's looking at everything from ground level. Now, when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, this is kind of like the Four of Swords card. This is the card of being in the cocoon. When the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, the world really can't see any activity going on. It looks like a completely inactive time. The caterpillar is basically sleeping from what we can see. Okay, so this is the same for you. It's a time when the world sees you as being less active than usual. And what's really going on is you're inside that cocoon. Nobody can really see what's going on because what's happening is all inside of yourself as you're thinking things through. And then what happens when the caterpillar comes out of the cocoon? He's no longer a caterpillar. So now he's much more beautiful and he can fly. So he has a completely different perspective. He can see things from ground level if he wants to, but he also can fly, so he has a whole different perspective on things. And that's like you when you come out of this Four of Swords situation that you have on Saturday. You go in as the old original Cancer, and you come out as the new and improved version of your Cancer self. So it's a good thing, actually, in the long term. A little frustrating because I know we all like to do what we normally do, and so it's frustrating when we can't. But it does actually have some good results for you in the long term. And yeah, try not to stress out about it. Just enjoy it. Sunday, Ace of Clubs coming up. This is telling me that you have a new idea that you're feeling very inspired about that comes in on Sunday. And this idea in this reading, because it's a general reading, so it's going to be different for everybody, but this reading can have to do with family, it can have to do with work, it can have to do with relationship, it can have to do with school, it can have to do with a new project, with a new hobby. But this is an idea that's coming in and you're just excited about pursuing this idea, whatever it is. So say that you have a hobby of RC cars. You collect RC cars and you like to paint them up and get them all ready and blah, blah, blah. So maybe you have an idea for a new car that you want to do. Or maybe you have an idea for a new place that you can go race your RC cars against your friends, or who knows, whatever. But there's some kind of new idea coming in on Sunday that you're all excited and amped up about. Okay, so Cancers, thank you so much for stopping by, for watching, for sharing, for liking, for subscribing. Those of you who have been purchasing my daily videos, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone who's had a reading from me and everyone who will, thank you so much as well. I appreciate all of your support. Everyone have a fantastic week. I'll see you back here next time. Peace out.